What's up, everybody? Welcome to Tuck Rule Takes, episode 67, the just confirmed Dan Copen episode of Tuck Rule Takes, episode 67. I am Mike, with me,
with the lineman.
Al, Liam. We're all here. Not much Patriots news to talk about today, but we are going to be doing our top 5 Patriots wide receivers of our receivers. God, the Boston accent came out. Receivers
back in
of our lifetime. Not necessarily best, just our favorite ones. I was thinking about talking about Patriots, but there is, Al, you and I were talking before the episode. There is little to no Patriots news to talk about right now. I mean, right. Belichick's at the Shrine Bowl throwing around, college, linemen and stuff. But other than that, nothing really to talk about. Liam, can you remind us one time who's in the Super Bowl real quick?
That would be the soon-to-be Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles going up against my homeboy.
So we we'll give our Super Bowl picks next week because they got the week because of the Pro Bowl or like the skills.
It's really up in the air for me right now. I have no idea who to pick.
Yeah, I have no idea. No one knows. It is truly up in the air for me. This is truly a rock and a hard place decision for
choose
me.
Wisely.
But did you guys have any tidbits, anything you want to say, throw out there before we jump into our wide receiver draft?
Just real quick, there was a really small nugget. Bill O'Brien, I forget who said it. It was someone at Pro Football Focus. They said that they watched 15 minutes of Bill O'Brien at the Shrine Bowl. They said Bill O'Brien taught more at the at the Shrine Bowl.
Shrine Bowl.
Yep, the Shrine Bowl. To the college quarterbacks that Matt Patricia and Joe Judge did all year. So
is that source at liberty to say, though? Did they see the teaching that Matt Patricia tried to do to Mac Jones all year?
Liam, the fact that you're still trying to defend Matt Patricia,
I'm just saying.
No. You've been doing it the whole year, and I'm sick and tired of it. He was not a good OC. Get over it. We're moving on.
I'm sick and tired of it. Hey, someone has to play devil's advocate, and that person is, that's going to be Liam. I get what he's saying, though. I get what
I don't like these generic blanket statements like, oh my God, he did more in 15 minutes than this other coach did all year. No, that's not true. Like, even
that's not true. He watched it in person.
Okay. If he really was there all year, then there'd be some merit to it. But overall, like, stuff like that is just like, oh, I didn't like Matt Patricia. He clearly did a bad job. The offense sucked. Bill O'Brien in 15 minutes did so much better. It's a blanket statement. Like, probably, obviously, Bill O'Brien's going to be a better OC next year. Can we just let it ride and watch it happen? Like, everyone who's already deeming him as the next great Patriots offensive coordinator, it's like, let's just wait for it to happen. He's probably going to be better because it can't get much worse. But we don't need everyone constantly hammering at home like, gee, Matt Patricia sucked. We know.
Let's get into the draft.
You're right. But yeah, I did see that tidbit, Al. Interesting. I just want to see. I want to see, what the year looks like. So hopefully we'll get some more little nice tidbits like that to praise Bill O'Brien as we move along here. But all right, guys. So we're doing it. Top 5 Patriots wide receivers draft style, just like we did last time. We did a randomized order last week, and yours truly got the number 1 pick. So it goes me, Al, then Liam, then Al. Liam's in that, he's sandwiched there. He will never get a back-to-back pick. Right. He'll probably have a list full of nonsense.
It was going to be nonsense if I got the first pick, though. So no harm, no foul.
That would have been true shenanigans.
Yeah. So I was thinking, do I go with kind of an obvious one, or do I pick more of like a favorite one for your first for the first pick? But the more I went back and forth, I'm trying to think of, I want to also win the draft. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
There's honestly one actual obvious pick for the number 1 in my eyes.
Is there?
And that's, yeah, I think so. And that's the 12-year stud. I got his stats pulled up. The 3-time Super Bowl champ, the 2018 Super Bowl MVP, 620 catches, 6,822 yards, 41 touchdowns, a 7th round pick. He is second only to Jerry Rice in yards and touchdowns in the postseason, I am talking about none other than Julian Edelman. I think to me, he is an all-time Patriot. He had the chance to leave. I forget what year it was. He almost went to the Niners, I believe. That's what it was after his contract or something. Then he ended up coming back. But I mean, Julian, he had so many plays. You got the reverses, the running up the sideline, doing this with his arm. I mean, you got getting crunched in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks and clearly had a concussion, stumbling forward. I mean, he's he to me is the quintessential Patriot. He's up there with and I'm not going to tip any picks. He's up there with the Teddy Bruschi's of the world, with your Ty Laws. He's up there with, Rodney Harris, like your classic legendary Patriots. Julian Edelman, that is my first round pick. And I hope that you guys agree with this pick.
Yep, that's what I would have gone with. So solid number 1 overall pick. Julian Edelman is the epitome of Patriots wide receivers of our lifetime. So good pick.
Good.
Yeah, this one was weird for me because it's like you can quantify it in a bunch of different ways. In my mind, it's like, do you want to go with the one dynamic year one guy had, another string of long greatness without the accolades, or do you want to go Edelman, who has not as good as stats as maybe one or two of the other guys on the list, but he's got longevity, he's got accolades, he was far above average, and he has consistency. With Edelman, though, there was just a lot of regular season like a lot of some games where it'd be 4 catches, 55 yards, sometimes a tub, sometimes not.
That's
obviously
true.
the playoffs is when it matters, and he cashed in the playoffs. He was one of the best playoff, second only to Jerry Rice, actually, I believe. Yep. But I just remember drafting him one year, one of my early fantasy endeavors, being like, I get Julian Edelman. Fuck yeah. It was PPR too. And I was still let down. I'd be like, damn, he really doesn't get that many yards. And the touchdowns helped a little bit, but even then it wasn't a ton of touchdowns either. So the first overall pick, it would have been a struggle for me. I probably would have thought about it a long
It was
harder
tough.
than
it was tough. The second I found out,
up.
I was like, shit. I was like, okay, there's there's one guy who here a couple of years, all-time great. Then there's, other Patriots legends. There's ones who might not be with us anymore. There's so many. But I was like, what? I think this is to me the safe, the obvious pick. Like you said, even though some of his games, some of the years weren't as up there as even other people on his team or things like that. But it's just, you can't, when you think of Patriots wide receivers, to me, there's maybe 2 or 3 people you think about. Julian Edelman's one of those people. So that's my number 1. That's my 1 of 1. I'm taking it. Take him off the board. Liam, you're up.
Noted. Oh, so this is just once again quintessential Patriots receiver. It's weird that probably the most dynamic and arguably my favorite of the bunch is going to fall to Al here. But I really, 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 really liked Wes Welker, and I'm going to take him. I think Wes Welker, even though he didn't win shit, it's the fact that he could have. They were so close a couple of different times. Ball bounces different way. He holds on to a pass, maybe. Things are different. It is a shame that one Super Bowl, his drop in the Super Bowl, stained a legacy of unbelievable reliability. He was absurd. I'm looking at his stats here. First year in New England, 112 catches. Second year, 111, 123. He was injured, so he had 86 the following year. Back up to 122, 118, and then he goes to Denver. In New England, easy 100 catches every single year, barring an injury. The touchdowns were fantastic as well. We got 8, 3, 4, 7, 9, and 6. So little dip in the middle, only to spike back up. Wes Welker is what I would have expected Julian Edelman to be when I drafted him in fantasy. Wes Welker basically had a touchdown in every game. The way I look back on it with rose-colored glasses, I remember, touchdown to Welker in the corner. It's always the slants over the middle. He had the 99-yard touchdown against the Dolphins. Wes Welker was that dude. Exactly. And he is no taller than you, me, or Al, Mike. He is just tiny. And the guys
Wes Welker paved the way for my guy, for Julian Edelman. You think about it. He was really your first, slot receiver that was kind of
Yeah.
called that and was strictly around just for that. I think that's and Al, I saw you were kind of surprised too. It's a pick that makes sense, but I think maybe if you didn't take it now, it probably wouldn't have gotten back to you. So I get I don't want to say it's a reach. That's a great pick. It's just one. I think I was expecting something different, but I mean, he's up there. He gets forgotten because I think of that big drop and the fact that he didn't win any Super Bowl yet. You know,
that's the big thing. It's like he didn't win shit.
Mhm.
It's like he had better stats than Edelman, but he didn't win jack shit. It's like we don't crown AFC championships around here, so it doesn't matter. He didn't win anything.
Yeah.
With him though, it's kind of like Michael Jordan's the GOAT because he was the first dynamic shooting guard to do it. So Kobe couldn't be the GOAT because Jordan was the first to do it. He did it better. Welker was the first of the many roles that the Patriots had of the slot receiver. He was the first. He was the GOAT in my eyes. So that's what made me land on Welker. I go with the original, the OG.
I don't hate it. He also got suspended for calling out Rex Ryan and his foot fetishes. Or not suspended, but remember he got sacked. What was it, the first quarter or the first half?
What was the first quarter?
The first quarter, right? Yeah. And he was like, we're going to put our best foot forward.
Yeah.
We don't want to handle defeat,
great
all
feet.
this stuff. Yeah. Yep. That was the time. Yeah. Wes Welker, again, he definitely I don't want to say he doesn't get his props because he does, but I think if
he kind of doesn't in a sense too.
Yeah. I think if he had a bigger personality or something, because he was also kind of around when, I mean, social media is a big thing now. That's how a lot of people get their personality, get their shit out there. So I don't know. Great, still a great pick. I mean, that's another all-time. That's a top 10 Patriot, no matter which way you.
He definitely had less personality than Edelman, though. Like even going to the parades, you see Edelman up on top, throwing his jacket
catching
around,
beers, taking his shirt. Yep.
Yeah, he gets into it. Wes Welker isn't that type, and I think him leaving for Denver in the middle of the night ingloriously stains his Patriots resume as well.
Oh, 1,000%. Especially he left and went to he played with Manning too. Like that's him
with
the
Aqib Talib broke my heart.
Oh god, yeah. When we do, and Aqib Talib's name will come up when we do like top, defenders or top defensive guys, which I think we might have to extend that one to like top 10. Because there's a lot of Patriots defense. Maybe top
for the Patriots, we might have to do top 50 with the Patriots.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Has been unbelievable. I want to put Kyle Duggar on there somewhere.
Oh my god, yeah, he belongs there. But just like Wes Welker belongs here.
Al's rolling his eyes.
Great pick though. Yeah. So that's you. I got you down. Wes Welker, Julian Edelman, off the board. Al.
All right, so
choice is clear here, Al.
I mean, thank you guys. I think I just won the draft right here. So thank you very much for these next two picks. I just got to know which order I'm going to take them in. You know what? I'm going to get the better value in the second round. So here we go. My first pick, a Patriots legend, Marshall graduate. By the way, just to be clear,
I was like, wait,
just to be clear,
that's what I thought too.
Just to be clear. 3-time Super Bowl champion, Pro Bowler in 2001, all 2000s Patriots, 50th anniversary, all dynasty, Pats Hall of Fame. He is your wide receivers and kick returner coach. He is Troy Brown. Give me Troy Brown in the first round.
Troy Brown went to Marshall?
He did go to Marshall.
Oh, you dickhead. When you said Marshall, I thought you were going to take Randy Moss.
Well, don't forget, I have back-to-back. Don't forget
I know, but that's immediately where my mind jumped.
So Troy Brown, a true Patriot through and through. He was one of the most reliable receivers for Tom Brady in that first Patriots era. He's a guy that could do multiple things. Obviously, he was on the punt return game. He played some defensive back and corner too in the later part of his career.
Dude, 3 picks as a defensive back.
Yes, he did.
Awesome. Pretty good. Woo. Pretty good.
Pretty good.
You son of a bitch. I told you.
I'm going to hear that in my nightmares.
Pretty good.
I told you that
I'm going to have one of those dreams where I'm like falling forever. I'm going to hear Al in the background. Pretty good,
kid. So, yeah, give me Troy Brown, first round, third pick. So, are we good with that?
Al, because that's who I was going to. I told you before we recorded. I was like, I'm between 3. I got Edelman, Troy Brown, and then someone who hasn't been named yet.
Oh, I had Troy Brown. I knew, honest to God.
Son of a bitch.
Honest to God, I knew you were going to take Edelman, number 1. I didn't know what you were going to take it to. I had a feeling you would take Welker.
No,
there's another name I thought you were going to take. And I'm going to
That's what
tell
I
you
go
what.
for.
I'm going to tell you what. Are we good with Troy Brown? Or do you guys want to comment anymore? Or did I just
I
move
think-
on
I
to
mean,
my
what's
next
there to
pick?
say? It's Mr. Patriot.
Yeah, I mean the fact that he stayed, that he's a coach here, that he will probably end up staying a coach here for however long. I mean, shit, you could tell me tomorrow that Troy Brown has become the head coach of the Patriots. I'd be like, yep. So I think that's
Yeah,
saying
cool.
that's saying enough that it is. Yeah, Troy Brown is who he is. If you're from New England, you know he is. He's in that echelon where it's like royalty. I think even more so than like your Edelman is your elite. West things like that. Troy Brown is like. He built this city. So Troy Brown, great pick, crossed him off the list. Who you taking next?
Second round, first pick. The former Marshall Great. NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year in 2007, part of the Patriots All 2000s team, All Dynasty team, 6-time Pro Bowler, 5-time NFL receiving touchdown leader. You better believe it. It's Randy Moss coming to me in the second round, first pick. Like I said, I just won this draft. I don't even care. I mean, what's there to say? Randy Moss, a fleece by Bill Belichick to get Randy Moss to come to New England from Oakland. And what chemistry him and Tom Brady had. It was like watching poetry in motion. It was one of the most beautiful displays to ever see on a football field. And I'll tell you what, if Tom Brady had completed that pass in the Super Bowl to Randy Moss, where he threw it 60 yards downfield, and if Moss comes down with that, man, oh man, does he get that Super Bowl ring? And that just puts the icing on top of the cake of his Patriots career. But yes, give me Randy Moss in that first spot in the second round. Boy, do I love my first 2 picks.
Yeah,
That's like not even fair.
So
Listen, you two are the boneheads that you could have taken both of them. One of you could have taken Randy, the other one could have taken
what
Brown.
Am I going to pass
I
up
don't
on
hate my pick.
greatest slot
Can I be
receiver
100% honest with you? 100% honesty. Are we in the trust tree here?
Yes.
No.
I was not going to take Wes Welker at all.
Wow.
I would not have taken Wes Welker. Honest to God.
I'm not gonna lie. I had him slated as a 3rd round pick.
I would take him.
I'm sorry.
If he was available,
sickening.
maybe. He just.
You guys are
he
sickening.
didn't do it for me.
He didn't do it for you?
Too many bad plays in big situations.
One bad play, you jackass. One bad play.
No, not one bad play. There was a collection.
What? There was not a collection.
Just bad plays and bad times. That's all I'm going to say.
The records that he broke, the consistency, Sunday in and Sunday out with 9 catches and 2 tubs all the time. It was a staple. You guys are forgetting. Just because you didn't win Super Bowls doesn't mean those years didn't happen. Patriots still won 11 plus games a year, and there was a reason for it. They were thrown to a 5'9" monster.
I mean, hey, I don't mean to disrespect him. It's just like I said, I had him. I'm not like Al. I don't hate Patriots players, Mac Jones.
Yeah,
I don't hate all these people like Al does.
Why do we even have him on this podcast?
I still wonder that.
I had him just slotted a little later. I can't take Edelman then Welker. That's too similar. That can't be. That can't be. Great. Al, great pick. Great picks. That's a Troy Brown, Randy Moss. That's a strong top 2.
In the perfect season that they ended up losing the Super Bowl, who caught the first touchdown of the season? One Wes Welker. Come on now.
Wow.
Yeah, cool. But who? I don't want to criticize. Welker, but then like who dropped the pass? I don't know.
Kicked off genius.
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
So Liam, let's see what you got for this pick.
Randy Moss off the board. Liam, what you got?
This is absolutely brutal.
Don't pick my guy.
I have a lot of options here.
You have a ton of options.
You do.
Clearly, one stands above the rest.
Fuck. It's gonna be the one.
I know who it is.
I mean,
I might as well find another one.
A couple different teams came here. Oh man. It's got to be probably the greatest receiver I've ever seen donning red, white, and blue. Dante Stallworth.
Are you fucking kidding me?
He's kidding.
But
I knew it was.
I am going to take Dante Stallworth later, though, so no one take that because
he'll be there for you.
Well, you're an idiot for leaking the pick. Don't leak the pick if you don't want to take it.
I
Leak
mean,
him.
I'm
He'll
just
be there.
no, he won't. Obviously, I gotta go with in the spirit of the Eagles being in the Super Bowl, the man who won Super Bowl MVP against the Eagles, the only time the Patriots beat them, that would be the big, the bad, the mean Deion Branch. Sign me up with a little Branch, baby. 83, 84, Super Bowl record catches, Super Bowl record yards. Putty.
You're a bitch. You son
Solid,
of a
yeah.
bitch.
That's a
You
solid pick.
like,
son of a
that was
bitch.
the clear cut next best, and then the
Yes.
rest after them are, it was either between that and Josh Gordon for me. So
Josh Gordon.
That's a, see Deion Branch. That I think he is criminally underrated.
yes,
Even
big time.
honestly, even in New England, I think he is because he
no
did
one talks
lead.
about him anymore.
No one talked. He had a super. I mean, he had a Super Bowl MVP, and just
Damn
people
right he
just
did.
yeah,
Smoked that great secondary.
people just don't talk about him. Yeah,
let me read you off. Actually, his stats aren't even wildly impressive.
Now
Granted,
read him
they
off
didn't
though.
pass
Give me
all that much. Here they are. So in his first year drafted, first year with the Patriots, rookie year, he had 43 receptions for 500 yards, 2 tubs. The next year, 57 catches, 800 yards, 3 tubs, and then it went up from there. Actually, no, he must have got hurt. 500 yards, 4 tubs. The year they won the Super Bowl, he won MVP. 2 yards under 1,000, 5 tubs, and then they traded him. And then he came back later in 2010, where he went off for holy shit, 5 touchdowns in 4 games.
really.
Yeah,
Damn,
holy
I didn't
shit.
know that one.
Yeah,
Branch was good.
nuts.
Branch had some really, good games.
He had 706 yards in combined for that year. Damn, good for him. Deion Branch, dog.
Deion Branch.
I'm like reading this.
Shit.
I'm like, am I reading that right?
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah,
no
and then-
shit, really? Fuck.
Yeah, and then after that, it's pretty unspectacular. It was 51 catches, 702 yards, 5 tubs, and then no touchdowns the following year with only 200 yards receiving. So like pretty consistent in the 3 to 5 touchdown mark with under 1,000.
Pretty good.
I mean, listen, that
Never had
no
1,000
one-
yards receiving though. I'm surprised.
Really?
I think next time,
Not one.
if someone says a pick that they're kidding about, they should have to suffer and take that pick. So like Liam with
No.
Dante Stallworth right there in the second
That's
round.
not bad because I am going to take Dante, and like that's dude, fucking Dante Stallworth's the most talented guy on any of our lists. So
That's very debatable.
it's
All
really
right.
not. Did you watch him in that 2007 season?
Didn't
Pretty
he
sure
kill
every catch he
someone?
got it. Probably.
I'm pretty sure he
every
did.
Sunday, every
Yeah,
Thursday,
defenses.
Monday, and Sunday out there
You
murdering.
were about to say
people.
Friday.
I was about to. Well, on Friday he's out there killing the bars, getting fucking hammered.
Damn.
Oh my
All
gosh.
right. All right. Good.
All right,
pick,
Mikey,
good
what do you
pick.
got?
Deion branches off. Okay. I feel like I kind of fucked myself. I'm in a shitty thing because there's some guys who I want. Honestly, no one is really jumping out at me too much. Like, I feel like your big ones are gone here. There's a couple I want to take. There's a couple I don't think will get back to me, but I don't want to take them because I don't want to waste them here. So I figured in the same vein of Julian Edelman, short little white guys, I'm gonna take him.
Oh, you dick.
I'm gonna take him. Danny Amendola, playoff Danny.
Good take.
I think that's a
I
reach.
mean, yeah, talk about it. Talk about it. I mean, it was between him and the guy who I'm going to take next, who this guy might be a reach too, but it's just, I mean, you think about, during the regular season, his stats obviously aren't crazy. He was only with the team for 5 years too, which for some reason I thought it was shorter than that, but
Dude, I
mean,
feel like it was longer than that.
Still nothing crazy. I mean, and he had 633 yards, 200 yards, 648, 243, 659. So we're very up and down. Obviously, we knew he kind of missed time and all that stuff. But when you go to the playoffs, that is where in 2013, 2 games, 77 yards, nothing crazy. In 2014, he played 3 games, 11 catches for 137, 3 touchdowns. I mean, it's just he. Oh my God, 2017. I forgot about that. He played in 3 games. He had 26 catches for 348 yards.
How many tubs?
That doesn't even sound real, too. But I mean, it's
Damn,
just,
wow.
you think,
Yeah.
I mean, the game that
26
jumps
for
out at you.
300?
I mean, the game that jumps out, obviously, is the Falcons one. He was there. He helped that comeback. So, I mean, I don't.
He had 150 yards in the Eagles game too, where they lost. He
Yep.
went crazy, didn't have a touchdown, but he went nuts in that game.
He to me is almost like Julian Edelman light or like Wes Welker
Yeah.
light.
Yeah.
I again, we're not taking overall best receivers. We're not. It's just guys who I think to have Edelman and Amendola. I hate that I have both of them. I fucking hate it, but it is what it is, though. To have Amendola, I gotta have him because I don't think that he's gonna come back to me. But I don't know. You thought I reached though?
Yeah,
that's a
just
reach?
like
Just a
a
little
little bit here. Yeah, just I mean the
I got
playoffs.
back-to-back picks.
Yeah,
You
the
do.
playoff performances are there, but I can't help but think like I remember when they first traded for Amendola from the Rams, and I was like, okay, this is the next Wes Welker. I was psyched. I was like, this dude's gonna come in and play the role. And that whole year he was disappointing. Granted, he got a concussion in the Saints game that Kembrell Tompkins caught that touchdown, and he got nicked up in a bunch of different times. So he was never consistently playing. And then all of a sudden, Edelman becomes the next big slot receiver. And I remember going, geez, this Amendola guy's pretty disappointing. He can't get on the fucking field. Edelman's completely taken the role that I thought he was going to take. The only time I really remember Amendola anything is in the playoffs. So while that holds a ton of weight, and it's a ton of weight because the playoffs matter the most. I always use this phrase, Cleveland Browns fans would love to talk about a great playoff performer that they have, but they don't. So we are very lucky to be able to talk about such. I like to look at a whole body. And it almost makes me like, I was just talking about Deion Branch. I didn't even look at his playoff numbers. I bet they're fucking ridiculous. But like, he obviously doesn't even match up to Deion Branch's regular season. And I thought that was more disappointing than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. Stats are one thing, feelings are another thing, Liam.
I'm an eye test guy anyway. And like,
that's
I said,
what this was.
The playoffs is what I remember. And that's as dynamic as it gets.
Yeah. That's what this was. Al, I'm assuming you agree with Liam, a little bit of a reach, right?
A little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
I think Amendola could have gone in the 3rd round, maybe early 4th, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
You got put in a tough spot. So you had to do what you had to do.
Yeah, I did. Now, if you guys thought that was a reach.
Oh, God.
I'm going to put Jonas Gray. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Al, does he have to take that pick now, too?
No, because he's not a receiver. I thought about it.
If you don't have to take Stallworth in the 2nd, he doesn't have to take Gray in the 3rd.
Yeah,
we all get one mulligan.
It doesn't even count because he's not a receiver. So, haha. But I think he only has 1 catch. I actually looked up how many catches. Yeah, I think he had 1 catch with the team. This one, I mean, the dude is nothing. He was with the team 1 year. Dude is nothing but 1,000-yard machine. Give me Brandon Cooks. He was with us for 1 year, 65 catches, 1,082 yards. He had that catch against you guys know the one I'm talking about, the touchdown. Like the big catch in the corner of the end zone.
The toe tap against the Texans.
Against the Texans.
Game-winning tub.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? The dude, this guy, every team he's been on, he has 1,000. He's played, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's played 9 years. He's had over 1,000 yards 6 of those years. And he wasn't even healthy for the years where he didn't have over 1,000. The dude's a machine.
Yeah,
doesn't get talked about enough, which I get it because he's bounced around from the Texans to the Rams, to the Pats to the Saints, and
still
he hates
doesn't
the
make
Saints.
sense to me.
Yeah, I mean he hates the Texans right now, and I get it. I would hate the Texans too.
I hate the Texans. I have no affiliation with the organization.
But yeah, Brandon Cooks, give me him. I mean, that's another one where 1 year. Like, come on, you're going to take a dude that's been here 1 year. But if you're a Patriots fan, he got knocked out of that Super Bowl, though. That's one of those things where it's like,
that's my favorite Brandon Cooks moment.
God, imagine
1
if
catch,
I don't know,
23 yards, and a concussion. What a stat line.
Like, who knows, man? He stays there. I don't know. It's just
Malcolm
Brandon
X
Cooks,
put him in the ground.
Yeah, give me him. So Brandon Cooks off the board. I hate both of these picks, but I had to take them. So give me Amendola and Cooks. Liam, swinging back to you, sir.
All right. This, I can guarantee you, is going to be the most off the wall one of the day. If you guys thought the Dante Stallworth pick was off the wall, which it's really not because he is the finest receiver I've ever seen, Donna helmet and shoulder pads. This one is off the wall.
I have it in my
taking,
head who it might be.
Yeah,
You say it.
It's long before our time, but his stats are absurd. I would love to see what his stats would look like if we translated it to the modern era. But in 13 years with the Patriots, I am taking Stanley Morgan.
Wait a minute, veto, because
Why?
we said in our lifetime.
That was for the Pats game.
Stanley Morgan was not in our lifetime. So now, right? So
Uh-oh.
now, Mike,
Yeah.
if you
Since when is this
veto
a
and
rule?
it's 2/3, then you have to change your pick.
Okay, I mean that's fine, but we did that for the last game. We did not say that for this one.
You know what?
We
You
just
know
said
what? I
just-
will. The
I
rules
saw.
weren't.
Look back at the text. There were nothing about
The
our
rules
time.
weren't set in writing. They were verbally said just on the pot. So that, you know what? Stanley Morgan,
Okay.
take him. Take him.
That's
But-
a good.
but
That is a good
moving-
pick, Liam. I will say.
Moving forward, though, yeah, obviously in our lifetime, Liam has to try to cheat to win, so I get it.
So no, from now
Typical
on, we have to do it
Patriots
in our
fan.
lifetime. I feel like we're cutting out the old heads that probably can't figure out how to listen to podcasts, but still. All right. I'm so Stanley Morgan is his. I was looking at his stats, absolutely fucking insane. Like he played running back in college. Pats drafted him to be a wide receiver, drafted him out of Tennessee. For career, he has 19.2 yards per catch, which is way more than Randy Moss, way more than T.O., way more than Jerry Rice. I'm looking at his single
Great.
season stats right now. In 1979, he had 22.8 yards per reception, 22 flat the next year, and then 23.5 the year after that. All ridiculous. This dude, burner speed, human can opener, ran through traffic, ran past traffic. He was looking at traffic in his rear view mirror. And like he could take some passes, screens, and bring him to the house, but for the most part, it was just deep ball. Shame the Patriots sucked a whole lot of shit during these years, except for
Mhm.
'86 when they went to the Super Bowl and got stomped out. But his stats are fantastic, just about 1,000 yards in most seasons, and highest touchdown season was 79, 12 tubs. That's pretty fucking ridiculous for
That's a
1979.
lot.
So
Yeah, especially back then. Yep.
yeah, and I don't give much respect to the old heads. I'm very much a new school football kind of guy. In my eyes, football didn't exist before the year 1997, the year of our Lord, when I was born. But I look back at these and I was completely blown away. I was like, all right, I don't know shit about this guy. Looked him up, looked at his stats. I was like, I got to put this guy on the list.
You say red jerseys. That was Pat Patriot time. That was Pat Patriot
And
time. So
They looked so swag in the
they
highlights that I was
do, and they
watching.
still
I'm like,
do, but they
damn.
gotta.
Even
Oh,
the
they
away
gotta wear
ones
them.
where it's all white with the red pants and the red helmet, I'm like, damn, that looks cool.
Bring those
that
back
was-
next year.
And that was an era where the Patriots stunk. So just having
Stunk
like any
bad.
good players, like good for them
Mhm.
for getting a decent player in era where they just were awful.
Yeah, he had 3 winning seasons, and one of them they went to the Super Bowl. At 13 years, he had 10 losing seasons. I would kill
That was-
myself.
That was probably what, the 86 Super Bowl then when they played the Bears.
Yeah.
God,
So
look,
that makes sense.
I'm looking at the stats right now. That is just
I mean, they're completely
Crazy.
nuts. Got 1,000 in his third year, 1,000 in his fifth year,
4 Pro Bowls.
1,500 in '86. The year they went to the Super Bowl, he had 1,500 yards receiving and 10 tubs. Like nuts.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you make it to 4
Big
Pro
ball.
Bowls, you can jump on this list. So I think that's good. Second team all 80s
Dude.
team for PFF. So I mean, Pro Football Reference all 80s team.
Yeah.
So
Pretty tight.
good
So
pick.
that's my off the wall pick for you.
Good pick. That is that's one that's gonna that's probably the most off the wall pick I'd assume in this year's draft in the
That's-
wide receiver ones. Good pick
It
though.
is.
Yeah.
Stanley Morgan off the
Off
board.
the wall.
Off the board, Al. So if you were planning on picking him, you can't. So
Darn.
Al, you got back to back. You got
Darn.
back to back ones now. Who are you gonna go with?
Man. I'm gonna strengthen my board even more with my next 2 picks. I love these next 2.
I
So my next
Al
pick,
might win this. He's got these two picks are going to be
Al's
very
not
important.
winning shit.
I think I'm gonna win.
well, I guarantee you, Stanley Morgan. Not a lot of people are going to know unless you're a true Patriots diehard.
No, but if they do a quick Google search, if they were curious,
They'll look and be like,
all.
"Oh shit!"
Yeah, but they won't.
All right,
Yeah,
Who
but
you
they
got?
won't.
they won't.
All right. So my
Boy
third
can
round
dream.
pick, I'm once again going to go to the 0-1 Patriots team. This was a guy that could do it all. He could catch.
Now here's a guy.
He could run.
Now
He could throw a touchdown pass this season. God rest his
Yep.
soul.
You can't pick
Yep.
You
Edelman.
have to take
Yep.
David Patton. Got to go David Patton, third round. This was a guy.
I see what you're doing. You're
This was
buttering up the fans, picking dead people. You're really trying to get them to sympathize with your list. That's fucked up, Al.
Listen, three-time
Yes.
Super Bowl champ, caught Brady's only touchdown pass in Super Bowl 36. He had that week 6 in 2001 against the Colts where he threw, rushed, and caught a touchdown all in the same game. Look it up on YouTube.
What
He
year
was
is
good.
this?
It was
2001.
at Indianapolis.
Or wait, was it? Yeah.
What year?
It was 2001.
I gotta check this out. No shit.
Oh, he was good, but David Patton's a guy that gets forgotten about, but especially
Former
that
Cowboy.
former Cowboy.
Former Cowboy. Liam,
But
that's your team.
But even so, right? Actually, no, he didn't play for the Cowboys. He played for the Giants. He played for
That's
the
Terry
Browns.
Glenn. Sorry, that's Terry Glenn. Different one.
Yep.
Different
Yeah,
one. Thank
I
you.
was gonna say.
But I will say, David Patton's a guy that gets forgotten about, and he fit into that Patriots offense so nicely with Troy Brown and another Patriots receiver that might get talked about later. And then obviously like guys like J.R. Redmond and Jermaine Wiggins. They had a lot of
J.R.
underrated
Redmond
pieces.
sucked.
Yeah, I disagree with that. But
David Patton was very good in Madden. He was a good Madden
Yeah.
player. If you
He
were
used to play
playing with the
2K5.
Patriots,
He was sick too.
yeah, he was good. David Patton though, that's not one. Huh. That's an interesting one. That's definitely not off the wall, but I don't know who I was expecting, but David Patton, that's a good one. That's another old one, trying to get the olds on your side.
yeah,
Mike, riddle me this. Is there just something that seems, and to know reflection on David Patton, because he was talented and he made big plays. I am going to watch that highlight that I was talking about that game. Just seems unspectacular to me. Like in my eyes, like David Patton always just seemed like a middle of the road receiver who but Tom Brady was middle of the road too, so I guess he was probably pretty good. I don't know. Like to me, it just seems unspectacular.
Seems like one of those ones where we've now moved into the names, the kind of the auras around the players. I feel like we're slowly moving into that time of the draft now. So I get it. David Patton though, still a viable wide receiver. It's not like you're picking someone who, you pick
No,
him
I
just for
definitely think he's
one
good. He's above
play.
average.
But yeah,
Right.
yeah, no, I get it. Definitely, it's definitely one of those ones people are gonna go, huh? But then if you actually think about it, you're like, no, David Patton though, maybe towards the start of the dynasty, he was kind of there. He did, like you said, historically caught Tom Brady's first touchdown or his first Super Bowl touchdown pass, right?
correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah. So I mean, he is definitely in Patriots lore as a big name. So I do think if we're gonna call my Amendola pick a reach, I'm gonna say this is slightly a reach.
That's
A
fair,
little bit,
but
just a little bit.
slightly.
Just a little bit. Maybe
Slightly.
not as much as Amendola, maybe more depending on what you like. But David Patton, the name is still going to look good with your draft. So that's good.
Yes.
So far you got Troy Brown, Randy Moss, David Patton. Next pick.
Okay, my next pick. So we just talked about David Patton catching Tom Brady's first Super Bowl touchdown. Do we know who
exactly
caught
where
Tom
this is
Brady's
going.
first ever NFL career touchdown?
I don't want to sound stupid. So Liam, you say.
Liam?
I'll say if it's who I thought it was.
Well, I originally thought it was Jermaine Wiggins, but apparently not, since this is a wide receiver list. So I would happily throw out the David Givens idea.
That is incorrect. Mike?
Really?
That was going to be my guess.
That would be it for my 4th round pick. And again, I just want to make sure. Yes, again, God rest his soul as well. That would be Mr.
Terry.
Terry Glenn.
Motherfucker.
Oh, that's who I fucking just brought up. I had him crossed off. Shit,
Exactly.
Terry
And
Glenn.
I had him in mind.
Ah,
Terry Glenn, a Pro Bowler in 1999, obviously won the Super Bowl in 2001 with the Patriots. He was a guy, he also was on the all-rookie team in 96, part of the Pats all-1990s team, consensus
here's the
All-American
guy.
in 95, first team All-Big Ten in 95. This guy was a great receiver. He was the number one target on that team that had Troy Brown and David Patton and all those weapons. I didn't want to say Terry Glenn yet because I didn't want to leak a pick. But Terry Glenn is a guy that people forget about. He was so good, and he was just a big receiver. Anything that came to him, he was going to catch it, and he could create yards after the catch in that era that we really hadn't seen in Patriots football. And I was only 8 years old when I saw it, but I remember Terry Glenn forever. So give me Terry Glenn with my 4th round pick.
Terry Glenn. I like that one. That's good. He, like we said, he is the former Cowboy. So
Yes, he is.
And that's what just
Take a look.
doesn't jive with me. It's tough for me to really sympathize with anyone who has been a part of the evil empire. I'm looking at his stats and they're pretty fucking good. I mean, his rookie year, 1,100 yards on 90 catches. Second year, he only played 9 games. Third season, he only played 10 games. He had 400 yards in his second year, 800 yards in his third year. Like I said, both those are injured. Not spectacular touchdown numbers, but then bounces back with 1,154 tubs, and then following that, a hair under 1,006 tubs, most of his career until he went to the fucking
pretty
Cowboys.
consistent. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, again, I didn't look up David Patton's stats either. The stats say he was really good. Like, I don't know. To me, like, it just seems like I don't know, like a fleeting wide receiver where he had sparks and moments. Like he had 2 good seasons with the Patriots, or 3 really good seasons with the Patriots, but seems like he was injured a lot.
Yeah. To me, again, this is similar to the David Patton one, where it's a name. It's an older name where people can be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, although I think Terry Glenn a little bit, I don't know, you want to say better, they're different, whatever it is. But yeah, Terry Glenn.
I would honestly say David Patton's better. So I think Al picked it in the right order, but mostly because it's a winning aspect.
Not what you were they on your list at all, Liam?
No.
Either one of these.
I mean, they're on my list, but they
weren't
weren't ones that I was considering. I literally have like every wide receiver that played for the Patriots here, and like I have one circled that I liked, and I didn't circle those ones as much as they wouldn't be in my top 5.
That's fair.
All right. But yeah, so Terry Glenn off the board. Again, RIP off the board. So it's Terry Glenn. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
he is.
I'm just saying
2017.
everybody's dead. Yeah, I remember that one because I got a friend who's a Cowboys fan, and we both sent each other the text almost the same time. So all right, Terry Glenn, David Patton off the board, Liam. I know you wanted to pick him, but you can't. Who you got?
Yeah, that one really hurts.
This is a tough spot for you.
This is. I want to jump for the Dante Stallworth pick here. If one of you guys takes him with the last pick, I'd be furious because I'm going to pass him off for this one around.
Well, Mike's the only one that can take him. I can't take any of your picks now.
Perfect. Oh, this is brutal because I have favorites on here. Yep. There's a 1-year wonder that I love. He contributed heavily to a Super Bowl, but I'm not going to pick him.
Okay. All right.
I'm going to shoot for efficiency here. This guy was on the Patriots for 3 years. They went to the Super Bowl all 3 years. He won 2 out of the 3 Super Bowls. He beat the Steelers almost single-handedly in the AFC Championship to get them to the Super Bowl against the Falcons. In that game against the Steelers, he had 9 catches for $180, 2 tubs. Yeah. I'm talking about the former lacrosse player, Chris Hogan.
I was waiting for it.
That's who, honest to God, Liam, that's who I was considering before. But I was like, you know what? I think he's going to somehow slide. I didn't think someone would get him, but so good for you. That's good value in the 4th round.
And this is purely like a post, like why Edelman got the first pick and postseason performer, why Amendola went so high on the list. He was just big balling when it mattered. Every year he was on the team, success across the board. His stats are pretty nuts for the Patriots. He had a a 79-yard touchdown, longest of his career in his first year with the Patriots. In the playoffs or in the Super Bowl against the Eagles, he had buck 28. The guy just went out and balled. We all heard Chris Collinsworth. He used to play lacrosse, and now he's out here catching passes from Tom Brady. We've heard it a million
Did
times.
you know? Did you know he
Yeah.
used to play lacrosse?
It's crazy.
Whoa.
He didn't even play. He played lacrosse. Yeah, we know.
God.
But the guy was a stellar athlete. I remember hating him in Buffalo.
Mhm.
And then he came
Yep.
to the Patriots. I was like, this is a deep threat. Fitzpatrick used to air it out to this clown all the time. I just liked him. He was not like Edelman or Welker. He wasn't like a slot receiver. He was a deep threat. He was always on the outside. Guy would get bombs. Just a crazy athlete. And it seemed like he had no business being on a football field, but he would always be wide open. I got to go with the man who went to 3 straight Super Bowls, won 2 of them. I didn't even realize he was on that Rams Super Bowl team either until I looked it up.
He was on that. He was on that team.
Yeah. Yeah, in the playoffs, he didn't do shit, but he was on the team.
I don't know why. I feel like I didn't know that.
Wait.
Shit.
What team are you talking about?
When the Patriots beat the Rams the second time around, Chris Hogan was on the team.
On the Patriots, you're saying, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying
Yeah.
he was on the Rams. I was so
first year
confused.
was the Falcons, second year was the Eagles, third year was the Rams.
Yep.
2 out of
Yep.
3 Super Bowls,
Yep.
Super Bowls in 3 years. I mean, stuff like that. Like, and he was a huge part of it. He was our clear-cut number 3 wide receiver. It was him, Amendola, and Edelman. And for the Patriots to have so much success with tiny, unathletic receivers. I mean, Edelman's athletic, but like overall, like the success that they had with very little is unbelievable. And he was big balling. 680 yards his first year, 500 yards his second year, 530 his third year, 17.9 yards per reception his first year. You know, looks kind of unspectacular. 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns accordingly. But in the playoffs is where he showed up. He had 3, 2, and 0. So give me Chris Hogan, the lacrosse player, baby.
Chris, I knew I was waiting for you to say like former lacrosse player. Chris Hogan.
Yeah, that's all
Like,
anyone knows him for.
I
didn't know he
was
played
waiting
last
for it.
year too. He caught a touchdown for the Saints just last year.
He did.
Last year?
Yeah,
Just
he was
last
with
year.
the Saints in 2021. Then I think he went to play professional lacrosse in 2022.
Yeah, he plays for the Cannons,
That's right. He does.
Boston Cannons.
I forgot about that. That's right.
While I was researching him too, apparently his family lived in basically outside of Long Island, New York, and he would had a deal with Bill Belichick where he would miss the Monday like film sessions, and he would after the games on Sundays, or if they didn't have a game on Sundays, he would drive down, see his family, hang out with them for a day or two, and then drive back. And he would stay in hotels or with teammates during the week. He never actually bought a house up here. He would just go visit his family and stay with friends up here.
Oh, wow.
Did not know that. Had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's all right. Chris Hogan, though, I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's another one of those.
Yeah. It's
you know, inside
Patriots
New
fans
England.
will be
Yep.
like, oh, the nostalgia will take
Yep.
over and love some Chris
Right.
Hogan.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. That's a good one. So Chris Hogan off the list. I will tell you, he was on my short list for my final 2 picks here. Okay. My last pick might be controversial, so I'm gonna save him to the end. This pick, there's even less than my former picks. There's no one that jumps out at me whatsoever. There's like favorite ones. There's other ones I could pick, but it's like they belong on some list, but do they belong on my list? I don't know. This one might seem out of left field in the sense that I feel like he never gets talked about. Did win a Super Bowl with the team. Only here for 2 years, 2014, 2015. But give me Brandon LaFell. I'm gonna take Brandon LaFell. I was just taking a look at his stats here. In 2014, he has 74 catches, 953 yards. 2015 only played 11 games. He had 37 catches for 515. But you know, as we all know, he did play in that Seahawks Super Bowl. He caught that first touchdown. Only had 4 for 29 in that game, but still, you know, still had the touchdown. So that still, you know, obviously helped him out. Brendan LaFell does not get talked about. Does he belong on this list? Does he not? I don't know. But I think I enjoyed his time here. That's one of those guys where, you say his name and I'm like, oh yeah, no, I liked him. There's nothing that really jumps out at you. There's other people I could have picked that may have better plays, may have better memories here, but give me Brandon LaFell. What do you guys think of that one? You like it? Liam, you said it was on your list, right?
Yeah,
it was
he
like
was
on your
probably
short
going
list.
to be my last pick if you didn't take him. I just have a lot of memories of him. Like, caught a touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks, had a touchdown in that crazy Ravens game that I picked last week in one of the top Patriots games of my memory anyway.
Mm-hmm.
He just was a good, completely different from Chris Hogan, Edelman, Welker. He was a big-bodied outside receiver, possession guy, somebody that the Patriots, much like a Brandon Lloyd, where they bring him in for usually a year or two as a rental and then kick him out. I always loved Brandon LaFell. I remember him coming from and me being like, he's going to be really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good. I'm glad, Al. Al, do you approve of my Brandon LaFell pick?
I don't approve, but I don't disapprove. It's
Okay.
kind of one where it's like it's okay.
Yeah.
Like we're getting toward the end here. Like it's a name. He was part of, again, like Liam said, part of a Super Bowl team. Caught a touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. Made some key plays, but I'm not like over the moon. Like he was on my list, but I don't know if I would have picked him. But for a 4th round pick,
yeah,
take it.
I had other guys, and I'll tell you when we do our honorable mentions, other ones that I wanted to pick here, because like I said, my last one is set in stone. There were ones I wanted to pick. There was one that I will never pick because I just hate him. I don't know why. It's just there's something about him that I cannot stand. And I think I even mentioned it in the group chat, like the day that we found out that I was in person. I was like, no, I hate this guy. I have a weird hatred towards him. But okay, yeah, Brandon LaFell, he's off the board. My last pick. Arguably.
Wait, hold on. What did you have Brandon LaFell's playoff stats pulled up quickly? I was just curious on how he did in that one year because I know he had at
Playoff
least 2
stats
touchdowns.
in what 2014?
Yeah, when they beat the Seahawks, yes.
Yeah, 2014. All in all, he had 13 catches on 20 targets for $119, 2 touchdowns. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
That
good.
seems unspectacular. I could have swore he had more than 13 catches, but damn.
Yeah. 13 for 119 though. That's
That was a
good
LeGarrette
shit.
Blount year though, so they had that one game against the Colts where they threw it like 10 times.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I mean, like I said, nothing spectacular about him, just a name. Because like I said, we're into like the vibes category. I like him. It's my guy. Like Brandon LaFell.
Yep.
Great guy. Just nothing bad I can say about him. He was here for 2 years, did his thing, left. Nothing crazy. But okay. My last pick. I was gonna say arguably, it's not arguably, one of the greatest Patriots of all time. You guys have no idea where I'm going, do you?
Absolutely not.
On the depth chart, I had to double check every year. He is listed as a wide receiver. When people talk about who the Patriots have, fuck you, Al, you know, and you can't veto it. When people talk about, and this might help me or not help me. Al, I know you know.
I have no idea where this is going.
I know who it is.
Okay.
I have no idea.
When people talk about the Patriots still have X, Y, and Z as wide receivers,
I know who it is.
They say this person is too, but he primarily doesn't play on offense. I'm talking about 10-time Pro Bowler.
Yep.
Future Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Wide receiver.
Oh,
I will pull up his. Actually, I have his stats. Let me actually tell you before I want to build up the.
Liam, we can veto this.
Yeah, you fucking can't. He's got.
Are you picking Marcus Jones? Who are you picking?
No, I know who he's picking. I'm surprised you don't know.
I can't find his stat. I can't find his stat. Yeah, no, you are going to be pissed. Okay, here we go. Rushing and receiving. Here we go. All in all, in his career, he has. That can't be right. Does he have 1 catch for 46 yards?
You can still actually no. Just say it. Say it because you already committed.
I'm talking about the one. Oh no, I'm committed. Unless you guys for some reason say no, but they're really again. This is as clean as you can get. I'm talking about Matthew Slater.
That's so dumb.
Oh, he does have 1 catch.
He does have 1 catch. 46 yards. I think we all remember the catch.
Take him.
I'll take him because guess what? I think that's a good name. And honestly, I had him on here. He was on my list. Yeah, Matthew Slater. I mean,
I
wide
remember that
receiver.
catch too. That's crazy. He only had
Yeah.
one catch.
Yeah, it was like
It was
like a
against the
contested
Ravens.
catch too, wasn't it? If I remember correctly, wasn't it
Yeah.
kind of a little contested? Yeah, Matthew Slater, like I said, 10-time Pro Bowler. I mean, guy's gonna be in the Hall of Fame, has to be all-time Patriot. This one, like I said, I double checked. He's listed as a receiver. You know, this could hurt. This could help my draft. I don't know. All I know is that can't have it with it because I was going to pick another receiver at one point, but I didn't know if he was maybe listed as running back more than he was wide receiver. I didn't know. But yeah, give me Matthew Slater. Al, you can say you don't like the pick, but it's Matthew Slater, baby. You can't.
I love the player.
Love
I
the
just
player.
think that it's just like how far are you willing to bend the rules? Like, holy.
Let me ask, are we drafting Patriots wide receivers? Obviously,
Yeah.
yes.
Yes,
Let me
but
see.
let me ask you a question. You're a smart guy, right?
Thank you. Yeah, I like to think so. Maybe.
Yeah. You're smart enough to
Depending
know
on
that
what this
Matthew
question
Slater
is.
should not fall under, although technically he's listed, and I understand he's
Mhm.
listed at the position.
Mhm.
But when you have one catch in your career, your 15-year career, one catch, you should
Great
not
catch.
fall under the wide receiver category.
Tremendous.
But you know what, Mike? You have already ruined your draft. This is a two-man race now between Liam and I.
don't think
Your
so.
draft is so far gone that you know what, Liam, his punishment should be
I love
just
my
to
guy.
keep Matthew Slater. Just keep him.
I love my guy. If you throw my team out there, my draft against anybody, we're killing it. Do you guys have anybody that can play special teams as well? I don't think so.
Troy
My
Brown.
team- Oh
Troy
yeah,
Brown.
Is he a gunner? Can he run down there and cause a fumble? Which, by the way,
No,
Matthew
he
Slater-
can run them back for touchdowns. That's what he
Matthew
can do.
Slater, my
Edelman
wide
has a couple
receiver.
punt returns as well, and so does Welker. So
Yes, he does. My wide receiver, Matthew Slater, caused a fumble in what could be his final game of his career. So I don't know. Going out
On
on
what
top,
on what
maybe, a
unit
little
again?
bit.
On what unit was that again?
Oh, on special teams, but I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
okay,
in New
that's what I
England,
thought.
I'm
And last
pretty
time I
sure in
checked
New
wide
England,
receivers
we
and special teams.
value
Last time I checked.
players. We value kind of switchblade type players that can play anywhere. You know what I mean? That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
didn't we
I thought
also
we were
lose
rooting for the
lose a
Patriots.
game because he pushed somebody out of bounds on a punt return earlier this
No, because
season?
he got out of bounds, and
Oh, yeah,
supposedly
that
they
was
said
it.
that he didn't try to get back. You don't argue with Matthew Slater. That's
No,
stupid.
you're right.
That's like
It's
arguing with
sacrilege.
Mike,
Jesus.
I'll give you this. It was outside the box, and it was
Outside the box-
controversial. I will
outside
give
the
you
box,
both
but
of those.
also
Do we want to
very
veto this,
much
or are we good?
inside the box. You can if
No,
you want. I have a
it
whole
would be
list.
it would be a crime to let him actually pick someone else. So we have to punish him by letting him.
I'm
have
kind
it.
of
So
I'm kind of curious. No, I'm kind of curious to know who he would take otherwise.
well, no, because then he could take one from me and you, ding dong.
It wouldn't be it. It certainly wouldn't be off the
He's
wall.
not taking my
in
guy.
anything. No, probably not. Probably
Let's
not.
just let him.
I
keep it.
could. I
Let
do
him
have
keep it.
another guy who primarily played special teams. Bang bang!
What is
I got
wrong
another
with
guy
you?
on here. Who do you want me to pick?
He picked Zoltan
Listen, guys,
Mesko because he caught a
listen,
pass. once.
Zoltan. No, people who actually are wide receivers on the. No, I am taking Matthew Slater unless
all
you
right.
both want to veto it.
No, we'll keep it.
Okay. That's good. So yeah, that I got my list. I think I got a pretty strong team. I know people on this panel feel otherwise, but we'll throw it back to Liam. Who do you want to pick? Matthew Slater, baby. Number 5.
Like I said, the choice is clear. The greatest wide receiver in Patriots history, the greatest athlete I've ever seen to play the wide receiver position. Stellar on all the 6 teams that he played on. Truly and ever so love this guy fucking dearly. One of my favorite players ever, if not my favorite. I have his jersey from 3 of the 6 teams that he played for. I'm right back to Dante Stallworth. Dante Stallworth through and through. Like, this guy is the man. The man. If he had a solid quarterback and like a great system throughout his entire years, he would be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Dante Stallworth can do no wrong in my eyes. He was a part of that 2017
Going on the list.
wherever. Please do.
Yep.
Dante Stallworth deserves to be on the list because he is unfathomably great. In that 2007 season, when just the whole offense was flowing, he had 46 catches for 700 yards and 3 tubs. His longest was
Damn.
69 yards. Nice. But this guy, deep
Another
threat,
plus.
can do anything. He could take it short, bring it long, take the top off of defense. And my favorite, when I think of Dante Stallworth, I think of this play. And I would hope you guys do too, because you guys are old enough to remember this. Do you remember when he was on the Patriots in 2012?
Yep.
I think I know. I think I remember the play.
He had 1 catch that entire season. He took that 63 yards to the house against the Texans and then broke his arm at the end of that touchdown and didn't play.
Well, maybe it's something I was thinking.
He played 1 game. They signed him before that game, like a week. He didn't even need to practice. Bill knows he is a phenomenal athlete. Bill signed him and goes, "We're going to use you. Just go in there, catch 1 pass, take it to the house." Dante's like, "I got you, coach." Goes in there, does exactly that. Phenomenal athlete, phenomenal play. I owe my life to Dante Stallworth. I would not be sitting here talking on this podcast with you if Dante Stallworth didn't inspire the love of football in me. Truly a man's man of receivers. Give me Dante Stallworth. Number 18, number 83.
So Dante Stallworth did kill a man. I was just
Yes,
looking
he
it up.
did.
A guy, and
A
I'm
couple
looking at it.
safeties, a couple corners.
I remembered it. He was a guy ran out in front of his car, not in a crosswalk. Stallworth was drinking, whatever it was where he was, 30 days in jail. Neither here nor there, because he's not even the worst murderer the Patriots have had on their team. So
That's
Dante
saying
Stallworth,
something.
though, yeah, that is saying something. Dante Stallworth, I knew he was gonna pick that. Al, what do you think? What do you think of that pick?
I mean, you just said it. You knew he was going to pick it. I mean, Dante Stallworth really doesn't mean that much to me. So you know what?
Wow, come
I'm
on.
just-
do you remember
but-
do you remember his Saints years at all?
I don't remember the Saints years, to be completely honest. But you
What
know
about
what?
remember
his
him
Philly
being on the
years,
Saints.
baby?
His
What
Philly
about
years were okay. Guess what?
We're incredible.
Hey, it's a 5th round pick. It works. It works.
It works. It works. Hey, we're doing some crazy things in the 5th round. I mean, we know. I mean, I would take my guy over your guy, but still,
I'm
it
just
is what it
upset he
is.
doesn't get the love he deserves. Like I said, I don't blame that guy for jumping out in front of his car. If there was one way I could choose my death, I would choose to jump out in front of Dante Stallworth's car as well. I have that in my will, where if I'm like on my deathbed, somebody throw me out in front of Dante Stallworth's fast moving vehicle and just put me out of my misery. If I ever get Alzheimer's, somebody call up Dante. He's got a job to do.
Dante, I think that is with the people that are no, see, because it is the last pick, but still, I think you could have went with a few other. And I know me saying this as someone who just picked a predominantly special teamer, but
Yeah.
I think
He's far and away the best receiver on the list left over, besides maybe somebody that I don't want to give up.
There's a couple, yeah, but there's one guy who's tremendous. I don't want to pick him. And then there's a guy that I hate. There's two. The guy I don't want to pick, I don't really like either. But all right, Dante Stallworth. Don't hate it. He was not. I will tell you, he was not on my list of people.
But you probably didn't remember
happen.
when he was on the Patriots.
Oh, I remember. I almost wrote it down. I said, nah.
You almost wrote it down and didn't.
And I didn't. Yeah.
Who the fuck am I on this podcast with?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Who am I on the podcast with? Eagles fan.
I am going to take clips of every single catch Dante Stallworth has ever had on the Patriots, and I will send them to you. You are going to get hundreds upon maybe thousands of videos.
Or
post
them on the Talk Rule Takes page.
Well, I can already see it. I can already see
Yeah,
it.
but there will be a lot of them. So I will be posting.
A lot of them.
I will be posting 47 different clips, all of Dante Stallworth catches, most of them for tubs, long ones too, because he's a bad motherfucker.
Hey, do it up, because I guarantee you're going to need that, because this pick, I think, kind of sunk your otherwise pretty good draft. So
once I show that clip against the Texans, it's game over. They're going to be like, "Oh my god, this is Jesus Christ Superstar."
Yeah. All right, Al, last pick, Mr. Irrelevant.
All right, Mr. Irrelevant.
Jesus
I have
Christ Superstar.
I have a list of about 5 or 6 different receivers that I can still choose from.
Yeah, I got so many left too. Like so
None
many
of them
that
are Dante Stallworth.
And
damn right.
Thank God. And
Sacrilege.
This is a
Somebody call an
guy.
exorcism for this kid.
You know what?
This is a guy.
See, it's so hard because I'm going back and forth this last pick.
I know it's tough. It's tough.
You know what? I don't have a guy that's from like the second part of the Patriots dynasty at all on my team. Like the nearest guy that I have right now on my list is Randy Moss. Like that's the closest one. So I got to put one on there. And
You're
this
picking
is one
Demir Bird, aren't you?
this is one of the biggest what ifs in Patriots history.
Almost picked him. I know you're gonna pick. Yep.
And you know what? He was a big part of Super Bowl 51. So I got to take him. I got to take Malcolm Mitchell.
Yeah.
I have to. Because
Wow.
you know what?
Love
Malcolm Mitchell's a guy that he was 6'4". I know. I keep saying there's a guy. That's just quote that and just
Now
make
here's
that
a
all the
guy.
quotes. Now here's a guy. Here's a man. No, but Malcolm Mitchell, big receiver, good hands, tough, had a really good 2016 season, especially in that Super Bowl against the Falcons.
Mm-hmm.
And
yep.
I wish that he was just healthier, could have played a couple more years. I think he could have been a big part, especially that 18 team that could have used another receiver.
Yep.
So again, he's a what if, but he helped you win a Super Bowl and we're thankful for it. One of the few rookies that Tom Brady ever really trusted fully in the offense. So with my last pick, I got to go Malcolm Mitchell.
To me, he was just
Okay.
like Brandon LaFell. Like they seem like the exact same player to me.
Could have been, and that's
Like,
not a bad
long,
thing. I mean, if you're
lanky,
gonna,
good footwork. 100%.
Yeah.
I love Brandon LaFell.
Yeah, no, that's a good one. I like Malcolm Mitchell is another one where people outside of New England don't know. People inside New England, like you said, Alex, one of the biggest what ifs. Where it's like, what if he stayed healthy? What if he didn't fall out of football? What just big time what if? Because then what happens? Belichick's track record with receivers. I feel like that kind of changes around a little bit. Because then who knows, like what the outlook on that is. Yeah, Malcolm Mitchell. I like that one. I like that one. So let me run down everybody's lists. Myself, Julian Edelman, Danny Amendola, Brandon Cooks, Brandon LaFell. Oh, I didn't even mean to do that. And the one and only Matthew Slater. Still weird to say his name on this list. Liam, Wes Welker, Dion Branch, Stanley Morgan, Chris Hogan, and Dante Stallworth. Al,
Sleepers.
Troy Brown, Randy Moss, David Patton, Terry Glenn, Malcolm Mitchell. That's a good fucking list. Honorable mentions. I think the guy who I'm surprised he didn't get picked. David Givens. Anybody
I had
know
him
one
on
wanted
my
to
list.
pick him?
I had him on my list too.
Yeah,
I almost
David
picked him, but
Givens.
Dante Stallworth, I mean, it's clear the choice.
Like I said, I had a bunch. Rashay Caldwell. Anybody think of him?
Yep. Had him.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna pick him because I know that he kind of had some I feel like he was the first one to really drop a shit ton of passes. I feel like he kind of had that issue there. The guy who I fucking hate for some reason, Jabbar Gaffney, can't stand him.
Oh yeah.
I have like a weird vendetta against him for no real reason. I would never pick, even if there was a fire, I would never pick him. I would be like, you know what, you're sorry, sir. Like you're gone. You're gone.
I always like he just seemed like he kind of sucked to me. Like even though on the Patriots he was
he just annoyed the
technically
shit out of
good.
me.
Like I don't know. He never struck me as that good of a player.
Maybe because he was in those years, those kind of like down years, the lulls. Maybe that's
buried
what it was.
behind the depth chart behind Welker, Stallworth, and Moss.
Stallworth, yeah. And then the last honorable mention I'll bring up, and I'll see what you guys have because, like I said, I got a bunch of other ones. But the guy that I thought was going to be the next guy, Kembrell Tompkins.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thought he was going to be the guy.
Show ponies. Where's the beef? Yeah, that makes sense.
That one year he had was pretty good. I kept thinking Aaron Dobson. Aaron Dobson, I thought was going to be the guy.
Him and Aaron Dobson.
And Kembrell Tompkins blew up, and I was like, "Gee, Tompkins is so much better than Dobson."
Yeah, no, but yeah, those are kind of my like top ones there. Who else you guys have that we didn't pick?
Alex, you got any?
Yeah, I got a couple. Not a real popular name, but Jacoby Myers, just another name because he's recent, a guy that we all like. Okay.
Yeah. I almost picked him as kind of like the final guy, as like, kind of to bring it to wrap it around to this year. I love Jacoby Myers. So
Jacoby Myers, Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yes.
I was going to pick him too.
By technicality,
Yep.
Another name. Josh Gordon.
Yep.
I had him. I almost
not on my list, but yes. Not on my list, but yeah.
And then an absolute one-game wonder, blast from the past, Michael Floyd.
Yes.
One
Michael
play
Floyd,
wonder.
right there.
The
Yeah,
axe
you
man.
got it on there.
That hit, that fucking
Oh,
crushing hit
man.
to Spring Edelman.
Oh, it was great.
Oh, Michael Floyd. Yeah, that was the
And
the
then
one right there.
a couple old names. Irving Fryer, another name that
Yep.
an older name.
Yeah, his name
And
popped
here's
up.
a name that all Patriots fans should know: Gino Cappelletti.
Mhm.
Yep, of course. I
Radio
almost
announcer.
picked him, but it was so old. He was the AFL.
So yeah, that's all. That's all I got for honorable mentions.
Liam.
So I'm looking up a guy right now that just randomly came to my mind. Son of a bitch. I can't seem to find him. Do you guys remember he was number 88? He was a wide receiver for the Patriots in like the late 2000s. His last name was Akins. And he
Yeah,
had
Sam
like
Akins.
Sam Akins. That's what I thought it
Yep.
was, and I can't find him on Google. He had like one dynamic play, and then like I never saw him again.
Sam
But I
Akins
have-
is in the same breath as Brian Timms.
Yes, where it's like, oh man,
Yes.
I loved him for like 30 seconds.
Yeah, because I remember he scored that touchdown against the Jets. I remember tweeting out, "It is Tim's
Yeah.
time."
Yep.
It was never Tim's time again. That was it.
No, it wasn't. I did have Brian Timms on my list as well, but I also had Josh Gordon. I remember being so hyped when the Patriots got Josh.
So high. Oh my
Oh,
god.
yeah.
I was like, this is it. Super Bowl. It's just Super Bowl, Super
Yep.
Bowl, Super Bowl. Yep.
Yeah, I thought it was
Yep.
over. And then he came to the team and it never looked like he was running fast. Like he scored a couple touchdowns. I think he had 3, and like he was good. He was above average, but he just never looked like he was trying.
Yep.
And I was like,
Mhm.
damn,
True.
dog.
Yeah. That was rough.
Yeah, I also had me and Al's man from the U, Philip Dorsett, of course. Little playoff action there.
I
Had to
thought
throw
about
him in
picking
there.
him.
Absolutely.
I thought about picking
I
him.
forgot.
It's one of
I
my
honestly
last
forgot
picks.
about him too.
Yeah, he had
I
like
thought about
he had some really bad moments. He was terrible with drops, but he was
Mhm.
also a human.
He had
can
some good
opener to
ones.
top off a defense. Yep, Super
Huge
Bowl
catch in the
champion.
AFC Championship game against Kansas City.
Dude, and
Yep.
what a catch! Like fucking
Yep.
tutty. I of course had Brandon Lloyd, our Lord and Savior,
Yep.
absolute stud. I
Yep.
really wanted to pick him, just no room on the list. And shit, I know I had one more here. I'm losing my mind.
Do you guys have Bethel Johnson?
That's a name.
No,
I had Bethel Johnson
is
on
a
there
name.
as like a last
Oh.
ditch. Who?
of course. Nelson Aguilar, baby. Come on. Show
get-
Nelly
And
some
that's where
love.
we end the
That is,
podcast.
I had
Show a little
Antonio
love.
Brown. I put him on there. It's just like, you know what?
Wow.
Maybe I shocked the world. I had him.
I think
But yeah,
Antonio
that
Brown
was-
did more in one game for the Patriots than Nelson Aguilar did in 2 years here.
Yep.
Absolutely not
Yep.
true. That's
Yeah.
just fake news.
Liam, I thought that you were maybe going to pick Chad Ochocinco. I don't know why.
I have him on the list. I wanted to.
Yeah,
He was
I
in
thought-
Boston
So
today,
bad.
actually.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, for the opening of sports betting
Oh
in Mass.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Damn, if
forgot
I had
he was
known
there.
that. And Edelman was there too. I should have
Yep.
went and saw him. But yeah, I was looking at Ocho Cinco's only touchdown with the Patriots against the Bills. Like when we first talked about this last week when we were
Mhm.
picking wide receivers, I looked up his only touchdown for the Patriots. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
Strong
Yeah,
deep
remember
pass
that?
from
That
Tom
was-
Brady.
Ugh, God, that's another one. Like
One
like a
catch of the
Joey
Super Bowl, though.
Galloway. Yeah,
Yeah, I love Joey Galloway.
everybody did till he came here. That's like remember what's his name? Not Marvin Harris. Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne.
That's what.
Yep.
That might be one for the list where I can't believe they were a Patriot. Reggie Wayne is gonna be on that list.
Oh, here
I
I got
love
another one
Reggie
for
Wayne.
you. Eric Decker.
Eric Decker was on the
I forgot
Patriots,
about
wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
For a hot
we're spoiling,
second.
we're spoiling a list for another time.
Yeah. No, we can't do it. Okay.
Oh,
So I'm gonna get these up tomorrow morning when the episode drops. So when you're listening to this, the poll will be on Tuck Rule Takes Twitter and Instagram, wherever you want to go, check it out. Yeah, like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that fun stuff.
what's
Please
the
do.
list for
guys.
next week?
The list for next week.
I have
I
the
think-
topics. Hold
Who-
on.
I have an idea.
You know
Ooh,
what?
hit me.
Who between you two pick, because I feel like I kind of picked the receivers one this time.
Okay.
Okay. Al, what's
So-
your idea?
So my idea is we take the defense idea and we do like 2 linebackers, a safety, and 2 corners. And you make a top 5 of that defense.
Ooh. Okay. So like the basic structure. So what is the criteria? 2 safeties.
Two linebackers, 2 corners, and we'll say a safety just to throw a different
to make it
position out
5.
there. And we'll say in our lifetime.
In our lifetime. I like that one. In our lifetime.
Yeah.
In our linebackers. Does that also mean linemen? Or is lineman a different
That's
one?
a good question.
Because we cannot pick Patriots
We-
defensive players without linemen.
Yeah, but like we'll make this like a secondary middle of the defense type thing. There are so many good defensive linemen. We can
There
make that
really
a separate
are.
list.
We could probably do like a 3 to 5 man draft just on linemen themselves.
You
There's
probably
so
do,
many.
a certain amount of front 7, certain amount of
Exactly.
the back half. Yeah. Either way, yeah. I think that'd be good. Liam, unless you had one that you think is better than that.
No, let's roll with that.
Roll with that.
All
All
right.
right, cool. So top defensive players, how it gets laid out, we'll kind of iron out as we go throughout the week, but that's what we'll do next week. So yeah, I mean, unless there's some crazy Patriots news, which I don't foresee that happening. The week before the Super Bowl, I feel like it's kind of a dead time. So yeah, you'll be in another Patriots draft, top defensive players or our favorite defensive players next week. So for Liam, Al, I'm Mike. Let's go Patriots. We out.
And Dante Stallworth, we trust.
No, we're ending on that. Sweet feet.